And power supply here, I've actually swapped out for one of mine. I do not have these wafers, and on the original board, this wafer had been completely burnt, and on the back side there, the traces and the pads were altered as well. So I went ahead and just swapped it out for one of mine that I've got rehabbed here. So I've got a new power input filter capacitor. We've got the correct size diodes here in place, a new 100 UF capacitor here for the solenoids, as well as both of the displays. Capacitors have been replaced, sorry. And then we've got all 0.156 headers here on the board that are square pin headers. And we'll go ahead and get this thing powered up and grab some voltages here. So the first one's going to be 5 volts, and we're going to have positive voltage for the high voltage, and then negative voltage here for the high voltage. And then where's our 12 volts? Here's the 12, and then we should have a string of 5 volts here. And then the rest are ground. So there we are 100% good to go. Thank you so much. Get a firepower MPU and driver board, as well as a power supply that I've got back here. So MPU, first off, all 0.516 headers have been replaced on the board, as well as the male 40-pin interconnect. We've got 2 new sockets here for the flipper ROMs. IC14 had already been resocketed, but we did resocket the 6810 as well as the 6808. The 6821 is an AMI, so I went ahead and pulled that and threw that into a socket. Installed a 5101 NV RAM as well as a new socket for that. The alkaline had been abated, but it was not conformal coated. I did notice there's a little bit more corrosion here, so I went ahead and sanded that down and conformal coated over top, replaced the socket as well as the bypass capacitor there. We've got a new crystal, a new power input filter capacitor, and I think that's it for the MPU. The driver board, we added a blinking indicator. We had a locked on special solenoid number 5, as well as actually no, we replaced the, or I'm sorry, we did some trace repair on the back side of the driver board, which runs to, was it solenoid 14 here, which had already been swapped out. We've got a new power input filter capacitor. All 0.156 headers here on the board have been replaced, so those are now square pin headers. Replace the resistors there with 0 ohm jumpers in the switch matrix section. And we did actually have a dead 6821 here on the driver board, so that's been pulled, socketed, and I've got a new 6821 in place. And we'll go ahead and get this thing powered up. So as you can see, high score to date, last game played, and the lamp matrix dancing, and the only coil that's on is the coin lockout, which is completely normal. And we'll go ahead and throw this into test. And first test is going to be displays. So cycling through 0 through 9. And into lamps. So all lamps. And moving over into the solenoids. So you see the flipper enable come on, which is the flipper relay there on the driver board. We'll cycle through the 16 standard solenoids into the special solenoids, which these are also switch controlled and all working properly. And we'll let this go back through just to pulse the coin lock out there to show that it's functioning properly, and there we are. And into the last test, which is going to be switch test. And we're just moving through, testing both rows and columns here. And the last switch in firepower is switch 58. And if I can bend my fingers, go ahead and test rows 7 and 8 there. And so we are 100% good to go. And if we go to 18, adjustment 18, and we set this down to 0, we are now on free play. And system 6, you have to actually reset it there to get back into game, but we are 100% good to go. Thank you so much.